What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? We back on live. We back on live. We just gonna be talking it up, having a little conversation. Don't y'all forget to hit that subscribe. I really appreciate if y'all hit that subscribe for me and uh, tune in, join in with all of the good conversation, all of the fun. Have a little fun with all of the good conversation, all of the fun. All right. Yeah. So we can do a little touch up. I was on live earlier today. Of course, we were talking a lot about the whole Diddy case, the Diddy trial, talking about what's going on with that situation, and just getting a little bit of uh, getting a little bit of crunkness going on around it, because we know that as I said earlier, that we are coming up to the end now. We are definitely in a situation where things are looking kind of shady, and it's a gray shade, when it comes to it. So we're just trying to really find our course. We're trying to find our position. So I appreciate everybody that will come and join in. Come and join in and talk and have a conversation with me. Uh, and hopefully we can get those subscriber counts up. We can get this watch time up. All this stuff that is required to produce and be legitimate on social media. This is Trade Talk, of course. This channel, Unusual Suspects, which I will be changing the name on here. Definitely have a professional setup coming soon. With you guys' support, we're going to be able to move forward and do some things. I have so many things coming up and planned in my city, and you also can take advantage of planning things in your city to get some things moving appropriately, the way it should. We are definitely on fire. We are on fire about a parade that I'm actually putting together. I'm putting together a parade for next year. We are trying to bring civilization and prayer back to communities and neighborhoods and things like that. So we're going to do the first national prayer parade next year. It's going to take me about a year to plan it, get sponsors behind me, and get some other things going. Not really trying to get into religion, just get into just, a community of people joining together with prayer for our city, prayer for our nation, prayer for our world, prayer for the things that we are going through in our personal lives, and just having a community of people joining together for that particular event for next year. That is the entire plan for that. So we hope that you subscribe to the channel. Of course, we kind of go off on the rough edge sometimes, and then we bring it on back home. But at the end of the day, prayer is a essential part of what I do and try to keep up with, in my personal life. There's no reason that we can even be here without it. But however, ladies and gentlemen, we are now on the verge of trying to really get a good outlook and outtake on this whole situation when it comes to Diddy, or when it comes to Iran. We already know that Iran has responded to the United States today. They responded. They decided to go ahead and shoot some ketos out there to us. And it's kind of crazy, because everybody is currently right now, they are mad at Donald Trump, because Donald Trump has said that he did not need any answers, any permissions from the courts, from the Congress, to do what he had to do. So I really had to go and dig a little deep and do a little research my own self, and try to figure it out on my own and see what is the rules to that. And what I found is that the president only need permission to actually go to war, okay? Not to send a rebuke or correction, so a war, to go to and declare a war, should I say. The president himself cannot declare a war, but a president can do a drive-by shooting and a hit and run. The president cannot declare war, but the president can do a drive-by shoot and a hit and run, so That is what it is with that, so I don't know what's going to become of that. I don't know how Iran is going to respond. I don't know how people is going to take it. I really don't know what's gonna take force when it comes to that situation. So at the moment right now, all we really have left right now is to try to stay on guard and stay prayerful and watchful of some of the things that are taking place right now. um Listen, there is an issue when it comes to the entire situation with the Diddy trial. That situation when it comes to the Diddy trial, everybody is trying to really find their position and find their place when it comes to this trial. Sometimes it's kind of hard to really just see what it's going to be, because we are down to the place where it is a decision supposed to be made. They said that it's supposed to be made Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So I don't know if this decision is gonna affect a whole lot of stuff across the board of the entertainment industry, or how will it take place, being that Diddy had such a large place and standings in the music industry. But like the old people would say, what goes around normally always comes back around. What goes around, it normally comes back around. So we do know about some of the bad seeds that were sown. We do know about some of the things that were done in his entertainment world life that is being reported, and some things that have been unfolded through the scenes. So many things that were being involved with death, the death of other people and things like that. So I don't know how they're going to really handle it. I don't know how the entertainment industry expect to move forward with a new plan, with a new guy, music guru, entertainment producer guy. I don't know what's the plan with that, but we know that everybody doing their own thing, of course. But however, when it comes to this entire situation, we are trying to really just find that perfect place, and find peace in this situation, because this is an American trauma. Okay, that's what this is. It is an American trauma. It is hard to sit back and look at somebody literally have their life on top of the world as a billionaire and come all the way down to a jail cell. I often tell people that I don't wish jail on nobody. Okay, I don't wish jail on nobody. I don't have that desire to want to see people in their worst position. I don't have a desire to want to see people in the worst place that they can be. I'm so sick and tired of racism. I'm sick and tired of people laughing at people. I'm sick and tired of people thinking everything is a joke nowadays. Nobody have respect. Nobody have love no more. It seems like the world has grown so ridiculously cold. Nobody cares about nothing. It seems like everybody is like, hey, it's all about me and mine and no more. We have that mentality where not just being a crab in the bucket, but also being a heartache on society, and being a stain. Some people don't mind being a stain on society. That's why you have all of these people coming out with these allegations, coming out with all this trauma and inner pain, and lawsuits and things like that are being filed, and people are going to jail and all that. Donald Trump is getting people out, and everybody fighting him because he got this person out, and people mad because, and they're praising the downfall of so many people. I don't want to praise the downfall of somebody, because I was always told in my youth that anytime that you find yourself to have a problem with somebody, the best thing that you can do is look in the mirror, and you will find that you're looking at the same person that you have a problem with. So you can always look at yourself and know that at any given time, at any given day, these things could come back on you and your family, and then you be caught in the same situation. So we don't want to get to a place where we just become so nonchalant to the real world of society, and losing heart in society, losing our humanitarian abilities and skills, and don't want to try to find a way and a mission to help people and get people back in a better place. I think that no, the government cannot save us. Okay, I don't care what you try to do, how you try to make it go. The government is not going to save us. Okay, I don't care if you go back and you file charges, the government's still not going to save you, because they're going to only use that charge to get their next position in office for the next year. And then you're gonna be back to square one, dealing with the pain, dealing with the emotional side of it. Okay, once you file charges on somebody and they go to jail, guess what? You can't call downtown and tell the judge, now what about me? Now how can I get some help? What we're gonna do about me now? I need psychological embrace. I need help. There's nothing that they can do for you on that. Okay, they did their job with locking them up or whatever the case may be. But we should be able to turn to somebody. If we can't turn to somebody, we should be able to turn to somebody. If we can't turn to nobody, we should be able to turn to somebody. Okay, so I think that in this society that we got to get ourselves back into those humanitarian skills, get ourselves back into learning how to love people, learning how to embrace people, and stop being so hateful and mean and nasty and distasteful. Stop being so nonchalant about pain. Stop causing and inflicting such pain on people where you cannot see another person what they're going through. I know a lot of people don't give a damn about what people are going through. I talk to people all the time. They literally just don't give a damn what you're going through. What's the favorite slogan they got? F what you're going through. Okay, and they don't matter what race it is. They just don't care. You can have a wreck on the freeway, and your car can turn over 5 times in the middle of the freeway, and you finally make it out, and you step out your car full of blood and full of cuts. Did you not know that those cars still gonna keep riding by you like nothing ever happened? Nobody don't want their name on it. Nobody don't want to give a statement. Nobody want to be a witness. You're all in it by yourself. You got to call an ambulance for yourself. You got to call the police for yourself. Nobody don't want to get involved, because this has become a selfish ass world. This world has become ridiculously selfish, and people are just like that right now. People just don't care no more. They don't care. The world is cold right now. It is cold. It is hard. It is brutal. Okay, I sit up and I look at videos all day long. When I'm not doing nothing, I look at videos. I listen to people talk. I read comments and stuff on social media. I can't believe some of the ways that people feel in society right now. I can't believe it. I can't believe people will say some of the stuff that they say. I can't believe that people would do some of the stuff that they would do. I never would have thought in a million years, in a million years, that you would find yourself in a position where you will find yourself in a position where people literally look you dead flat in your face and say they don't give a damn, okay, about death. People don't even give a damn about families. They don't give a damn about a child died. They don't care. People just don't care no more. So when it comes to this situation, we have to really pretty much like take our feelings out the way and find some type of way of humanitarian skills where we're able to reach out to and help somebody in some way or some another. Listen, there's so many ways that you can help people. There's so many ways that you can help people. You don't have to give money all the time. You can go in your kitchen and you can fish some sandwiches. You got that meat been sitting in there. You ain't touched it. You ain't opened the package. You got that brand new pack of cheese. You got that big old thing of mayonnaise that you ain't opened yet. You bought that about 20 days ago. You got all that bread, and you have resources. You have things that you can help people. That is how that you're able to run into a place of getting your blessing. Okay, that's how you're able to get it. That's how you're able to be blessed even more and live a long life of good health and strength, when you learn how to reach out and help people and do something for somebody, and not be so grouchy, and not be so mean, and not be so arrogant, not be so dislocated from the world, be dislocated from society. You find your way. You find your way of peace. How do you find peace in yourself? Listen, you find peace just by helping somebody. You ever done something good for somebody and you actually felt good about yourself? It felt better than drugs. It felt better than sex. It felt better than meeting your favorite girl. It felt better than a whole lot of things. But I don't hang around people who is slouchy and mean and distasteful, and who don't give a damn about nobody. Listen, Diddy is in a situation. The main reason why Diddy is in this situation, because he allowed himself to become loose. That's why he's in this situation. Diddy allowed himself to become loose. He allowed himself in these people around him who manipulated him and made him think that they were friends. It's a shame that his trial was today and he had absolutely no witnesses, okay? He had absolutely no witnesses, okay? I'm talking about a man that have billions of dollars. They have a large quantity of network, a man that have a large quantity of network, a man that have so many things, have pretty much everything that he could ever want. Okay, a man that's able to open up his mouth and go and pursue anything that he want to pursue. He didn't have no witnesses in court today. That was nobody. Listen, when you're going through something in your life, you're gonna find out that it don't matter how many people that you was there for, you're gonna always be standing by yourself, because people don't have that love like they used to. Okay, the rooster don't rooster the way he used to rooster. Okay, people don't walk the way they used to walk. You know, it's different now. It's different when it comes to this. That's why I am trying to learn that. You know, when I do something for somebody, I make sure I don't expect no payback. I make sure I don't expect nothing from it, because I already know the society that we live in. The more you do for somebody, the worse they gonna treat you. Okay, the more that you do for somebody, the worse they gonna treat you. And I know that Diddy was in his own he was in his own mind. He was in his own intellect when it comes to, you know, providing jobs and helping these girls and shipping them across everywhere and doing all this stuff and bringing them from here to there and pillar to post and doing all this stuff. In his mind, he thought that he was probably doing a good deed, you know, even though he was able to get something out of it sexually or whatever. But he was still, you know, hey, come pick up 5,000 here. Hey, come pick up 2,000 here. Hey, come pick up 7,000 here. Come on, come pick up 20,000 here. Let me give you 13,000 right here. You know, in his mind, that he thought that he was buying his way into love. He thought he was buying his way into respect and into power. But let me tell you something, money don't always pass you the quick fix. Okay, your healing power is not always in the money. Sometimes it's in other ways. It's in other things and other ways that you could implement. You know, if he would have took his seed, the money that he had, and actually done something to build and revive his community, revive his network, revive his friendship, Diddy wouldn't be in this situation. If he'd have took what he had and learned how to be a humanitarian, learn how to help other people besides millionaires and thousandaires. You know, what a better position he would have been if he would have been in a situation where he was actually able to help people on a different level. But when you're nasty, when you're stingy, and when you're doing something with a foolish intent, when you're doing something with a uncivilized mind and a crazy consciousness, this is the things that you go through. You go through things like this when you are doing something for people, and you're doing it with a different agenda, with a different topic. That's why when you do something for somebody, you don't have to put it on video. When you're doing something for somebody, you don't always have to record it. When you're doing something for somebody, you don't have to always trying to let the world know that you're actually doing it. You're doing it because of the love in your heart. Okay, when you have that type of love, when you have love in your heart, when you're doing something for people, when you're inspiring people, it doesn't matter how much that they don't pay you back for it. It doesn't matter how much that they don't pat you on the back, hand claps and appreciations. Listen, it's one thing that I've learned about hand claps. Okay, we talking about Diddy. One thing, and don't y'all forget to subscribe to the channel. I really need y'all help. If y'all don't mind, subscribe to the channel. It's free. I'm not asking for no money. I don't need no cash apps or nothing like that. I would like a cup of coffee sometimes, but I know, I may not never get there. But however, listen, ladies and gentlemen, when you are in that position where you are trying to help people, you have to understand that they're not going to always come back and show reciprocity in that situation. Okay, they are not. Okay, because when you look at the whole Diddy case, look at the trial, look at what's going on, look at how nobody is there for him, look at how many people have turned their back on him after all this stuff that he done, after all of the money that he have gave, after all of the people that he have employed, after all of the people that he been there for, after all of the mansions he have bought, after all of the apartment rents that he paid, after all of the food that he supplied, after all of the burgers that he gave to the football team, after all of this, at the end of the day, he's only one man man standing alone by himself trying to fight for his life, okay? And that is normally what happens when you try to do things and expect such a return and want everybody to look at you as the big dog, okay? It's the big dog that always fall first. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the big dog that always fall first. If you ever want to see a man fall, if you ever want to see a man fall, if you ever want to see a woman fall, all you have to do is look at what she is doing for people and look at the spirit behind what she's doing and look and see the arrogance behind it. You will always know that the big days that she is displaying right now, the great things that they are displaying right now, is going to come to an end, okay? That's why you have to be extremely careful on how you deal with people. Be extremely careful how you target people, how you deal with people. You have to be careful on that, because everybody is not going to be there when you want them to be there. Diddy is in this situation, and he is I don't know, from what it looks like, it's a gray shade. We don't know that if he's going to beat the case. We don't know if he's going to win it. It's supposed to close out tomorrow. We will know if he's going to beat this case. Now, you know, on some sides of the law and the legal spectrums of things, it looks as if that he is going to win this case, but on the other side, it looks like that he's not going to win this case, especially if the prosecution was able to prove that he actually did a RICO violation and violated by transportation of enterprise, and also prostitution by flying them in. You know, a lot of women want to be flown in, okay? So that's why we have to be careful. As I said in my other video, you have to be careful about certain things, because all of this flying in and everybody, you know, getting into this tricking syndrome, and these women are pushing the tricking narrative. You know, you have to be careful with that, because that could turn into a whole nother situation, and especially when there's more people involved. So we have to be careful. You have to be careful. Everybody have to be careful. So I don't know if he's going to get out of this or not. It don't look good at all, you know, but, you know, who's to say that, you know, God always have the last say so, no matter what we feel, no matter how mad we are, no matter what we feel like we know, no matter how much we feel like we followed it, we watched it. Only God have the last say so. So if it's God's will, it'll happen. If it's not his will, he will sit down for a little while. That's just what it is. So we have to respect the plan and the will of God in this situation, because we don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. We can predict, we can say what's going to happen, we can try to come up with a conclusion and try to put together some legal efforts, and we can try to give a legal standings when it comes to it, but we really just don't know what's going to happen, especially with the jurors. We don't know if the jurors are on his side. We don't know how the jurors feel. Now, we've been hearing stories about the jurors. We've been hearing that some of them been nodding their heads, shaking their heads, smirking, laughing, passing notes and different things like that. Hey, we don't know how they feel. We don't know, you know. So tomorrow could possibly be the big day, or anytime before Thursday. They're saying that hopefully he can have a verdict by July, the 4th of July. We don't know if he's going to actually have that verdict by the 4th of July. But if he have it tomorrow, we will know if he's going to spend the rest of his days locked up in prison. A man, billionaire, a strong mogul in the music industry, who have everything at his feet, everything at his hands that he ever wanted in his entire life, came from nothing all the way to something, owning record companies and labels, owning liquor, and owning corporations, dance companies and stuff like that, and all this stuff, owning networks and all of that. Look, at the end of the day, what did it turn into? Owning absolutely nothing. Okay, there is no ownership in the jailhouse. Okay, there's no ownership in the jailhouse. Imagine laying in one of the most best, beautiful, largest beds in the world to go sleep on a cot inside of a pen. You know, that's where he's at right now, and that is a ridiculous situation. Listen, don't y'all forget to subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe. Please like the video, share the video. I don't think I'm saying nothing stupid. Okay, if I am, you can also hit the down button, and then I can take my black ass on somewhere, and I can just keep doing what I'm doing. But I really need your support. I need your appreciation. I need that from you. You know, because we're trying to grow our YouTube channel. We're trying to get it back popping, and whatever the case may be. And if you subscribe, it will really help us move forward and get some things done. That's if you into politic talk. You know, we talk about everything. We talk about politics. We talk about racism. We talk about grocery stores. We talk about food. We talk about music. We talk about theater. We talk about opera. Okay, we talk about everything over here. Okay, there is no limit to the topic of conversation that we talk about. We talk about immigration. We talk about it all. Okay, so in the midst of us talking about all of this stuff, I really need your support. And what your support will do is allow me to grow this channel, and hopefully one day I'll be able to, just sit up and entertain and talk to you guys, for 8 hours a day, and try to get more information and try to find out what's going on in the world. And we can and I can keep you entertained while you're sitting at work on your computer, or while you're driving in your truck. We can be, having this conversation and ratting off about some things. I'm not the best, but I do know how to talk, and I do have conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why I need you to subscribe. That's why I need you to share the video and like it. If you do that, I really would appreciate it. Thank you so kindly, so that we can be able to move on and go. Now let's talk about Iran. Now listen, I've said it before and I will say it again. Donald Trump, I think that he made a foolish mistake on this one. Okay, I'm a supporter of Donald Trump. I like some of the things that he implemented and some of the things that he have done, but I think this was foolish on his behalf. I think that he should have stood down and allowed them to handle their business the way that they need to, and not butt in, especially when you went and you blew up some tanks and stuff, whatever the case may be, on their properties, and couldn't find out that things were empty or whatever the case may be. That's fine. I don't want to listen to the propaganda. I don't want to listen to the lies of the news stations or whatever the case. I try to tune into direct sources, but as of right now, what I believe is that Donald Trump really should have just left that alone for right now, because this is not the time. There's some topics that Donald Trump talks about, I think that he should shy away from. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like some of the things that he have implemented and is implementing, but I think now is the time for Donald Trump to really start talking about the American people. That's what I feel. That is my opinion, okay? I'm not saying that it's a fact. I'm not saying that it's written in stone. I'm not saying it's the Bible truth. I'm not saying it carry any type of theological good weight. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying, that I think this is a time where Donald Trump needs to tone down. You already won, sir, okay? You won the election. You don't have to campaign anymore. I think what Donald Trump needs to do at this moment is start focusing on the American people, because the American people is still suffering. The American people still can't afford eggs. The American people still can't afford the meat. They still can't afford gas. The American people are still getting evicted. The American people still losing their homes. The American people are still being foreclosed on. The American people still suffering from high interest rates. The American people is having a hard time getting a business loan. Okay, there's a lot of American people who can't even get $500 business loans. But the immigration people that comes in fresh, brand new into the country, can walk into the credit union and get a $40,000 loan to start their tire shop. Okay, so and they lawnmower company, they lawn business. Okay, it's time for Trump to now direct the focus back to the American people and see what the American people need. This is a time now where I think that Trump need to come down off some of the stuff that he's on and start literally working on the American people for real. I understand you're trying to get ICE involved. You're trying to get the illegals out. That's cool. Let ICE handle that. That's what I believe. I think what needs to happen is ICE need to handle that. I think that group of people that he have designed and picked and chosen to handle the immigration situation, I think that they need to handle that the way it needs to handle, and it's time for him to move on to another group, and let's deal with the American people. We already got Doge in place, who's finding money, all these trillions and trillions and trillions and millions of dollars, or whatever the case may be. That's cool. That's fun. Who right? It was fun when we was looking at it. It was fun while it lasted. Now let's move on into the people. Let's start talking about the people, Mr. Trump. That's what I think. That's what I would like to see. I would like to see more people getting their homes paid off. I would like to see property taxes coming down a little bit. I would like to see people being able to buy food again. Okay, nowadays you can't even go to the grocery store. $400 worth of groceries ain't shit now. It's about 7 to 8 bags. Okay, and most of it is full of crap. Don't try to buy no meat. Don't try to buy some meat. You really gonna be out of there, because a pack of meat gonna cost you about $20. Once you get 5 or 6, 7 packs of meat, family packs of meat, is pretty much over from there. Okay, so you got to pretty much buy a bunch of stuff that would eventually probably kill you, that's full of salt and got a whole bunch of pesticides and foolishness up in it. In order to survive, you have to buy Vienna sausages, 20 cans for $3 to try to make it stretch, and happen to put it on some bread with a little piece of cheese and a little mayonnaise, and hopefully your family can feed on that, and probably buy a bag of beans and cut up some cheap sausage. Can't even even get no real sausage. You can't even get no good garlic sausage. You can't even get the sausage that really tastes good, is authentic. You got to get that bull crap. You got to get that stuff that is no name brand. Okay, the American people need help at this moment, and I think Mr. Trump needs to stand down on a whole lot of things and let other countries carry themselves for a little while. At least allow other countries to carry themselves for about 6 months, and put the focus directly back on the American people. That's what we need to see. The whole Iran situation, they popped off and they planning on popping off. Trump started it. Okay, you went over there, you messed with them people, and you did what you did. Of course, they are going to respond. That's just what it is. And please don't get it twisted. Iran ain't no joke, and they not no punks at all. Iran is not no joke. They are always the first ones to talk back. Always. Okay, so Iran is one of those places where they gonna do what they do. Okay, and so that there is going to be a consequence with that. That's why I think that he should have held down a little bit and chilled just a little bit on Iran. I think Iran, that situation should have stood down. Even in me being a supporter of Trump, I think that he should have stood down on that one and allowed them to handle their differences and don't get involved until it actually directly affects the American people. Now Iran said that they want to cut off oil and stuff like that. They want to cut the gas and all that kind of stuff. See, now you're bringing on other problems. See, we already can't afford the living, and now we finna run into the whole gas situation again. We just got the gas down to $2.30. Now we finna take the shit up to what, $4 again? Okay, and that's gonna go on for about 2 or 3 years, and now we're back to high gas. We're back to barely living, and now we're back to the same place that we were in, the same shape we're in. Listen, we don't want to stay, Mr. Trump, in the same place that we're in. Okay, we already been broken within the past few years. We've been broken, we've been sad, we've been misfortunate, we've been in mishappen. We already been in a whole lot of stuff. So I think that Trump need to go ahead and chill a little bit. Tell me what you think, if you don't mind. Listen, y'all, I appreciate y'all. I've been on here 30 minutes. I think I did pretty good. Thank y'all so much. I tried my best to kind of talk about this thing and do more things. I hope that y'all will subscribe to my channel. It really would help me. As I said previously, subscribe to the channel. Let's get this thing going. And I promise you, I'll be back with some better stuff. And we're going to keep talking until we make this thing happen. Peace out, y'all. Y'all be good.